on his new teammate, Jimmy James Harden. Now, I think I came on here a couple weeks ago and ripped James Harden because he showed up. He didn't show up to camp on time. He showed up out of shape, overweight, and he was just being blatantly disrespectful to the franchise, to his teammates, and all of that. And the teammate of me says, "Bruh, really? Like, bro, you already said you can't win with us, and you ain't even seen us. You see what Wall said last night? Wall was like, bro, it's 9 games, really?" But what James Harden did in his press conference after getting slacked by the Lakers was terrible. Absolutely terrible. And I get you don't want to be there. I get you don't want to play for them. But man, you signed a contract. And when you sign a contract, and you got people like Boogie and John Wall, people who are seen as immature, not team leaders, leading the team that you allegedly led. They're being the team leaders because they're in there saying, "Hey, man, we trying to get it." Boogie's like, it ain't even about if we want to welcome him back. Like, Boogie like, man, I came here to play with John. I came here to try to do something special. And you don't even want to try. But guess what? You got what you wanted. You got what you wanted. And I hope you're happy. And I hope it really works out for you. Because, I mean, now you're playing with Kyrie Irving. You're playing with Kevin Durant. And I think that trade, I think it's a great trade for Brooklyn. Yeah, you traded a great 6-man, some draft picks that you don't care about, and a center who is better than your starting center, but your players didn't want to start, so it makes your locker room a little bit better situation. So here's what happens, right? Rockets get Oladipo, Dante Exum, Karukas, 3 Brooklyn first-round picks, and a Milwaukee first-round for Brooklyn first-round swaps. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you, if it's not a high lottery pick in the NBA draft, the first-round pick is fluff. It looks good, but it ain't shit. It's like parsley on a plate. You know how they garnish your plate with the parsley, and sometimes they may take some different I don't even know what it is. Like take a dessert, they take the different syrups and they be on the bottom of the plate, then they stick the cake on top of it. Man, you ain't worried about eating that damn syrup. You want the cake. First round picks are syrup. James Harden is the cake. The cake, the icing, buttercream icing, all that. That's what James Harden is. And the idea that you're gonna get some garnish and some side dishes for him, I don't know, Houston. I mean, shout out to the Pacers, bro. They got Karis LeVert, somebody who's they got rid of Victor Oladipo's expiring contract, got somebody who's under contract, somebody who's going to come off and be that 6 man and get buckets, because apparently Oladipo wasn't meshing well with Brogdon and Sabonis. So good for them. And the Cavs, who cares what the Cavs are doing? They're a center factory, man. The Cavs front office and Detroit's front office, they just need to come together and just make 2 bad teams. You know, whatever they're doing over there, both teams terrible. Just fire everybody. Dan Gilbert, buy Detroit too, because I know you want to own the whole city, and you fire everybody, then sell both of the teams, and you just go away and be rich, and someone will see you no more. That's what you need to do, Dan Gilbert. But back to James Harden. I just think the Rockets got robbed, man. Just think about it. They make this trade a month ago when they could have. You get Dinwiddie too. You can get Dinwiddie. He's on the table then, but then he gets hurt and you can't get him. So you already got less. And then you had a trade that was available to you where you would get a star player. Ben Simmons. He's an all-star. He's all NBA. Guess who I would have taken? Ben Simmons. One of the best defensive players in the league. One of the most diverse, one of the the most diverse defensive players in the league. He can guard anybody. He's 6'10". He can move left to right. He can jump up and down. He can't shoot, but he can play your point or he can be your dump off four. Guess what he does for this small team that you have? He allows you to have John Wall, Ben Simmons. You can put Christian Wood out there. You can put Boogie if you want to. You want to have a non-shooting lineup and Eric Gordon or PJ Tucker. But he allows you to have PJ Tucker on the court as your four-man, and who's not a primary ball handler, right? Not a primary ball handler. But he allows you to have that smaller lineup, and then he makes up for the lack of size because he's freaking 6'10". Now, maybe you don't get to maximize John Wall with Ben Simmons, but I just can't trade. I mean, NBA history shows us that when you trade a superstar for spare parts, the spare parts never make the car run. The spare parts don't fix the car. You done traded away this luxury car, and you could, here, look at this, man. You traded a Maybach. You know what I'm saying, Maybach? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you traded a Maybach, that's James Harden. You traded a Lambo, Ferrari, that's James Harden. And you could have got back Ben Simmons, who is a really nice Benz. Still a luxury car, different kind of luxury car, but a really nice luxury car. But instead, you traded your Maybach. You got Victor Oladipo, who I'll say is like maybe a C-class Benz or maybe a 3 Series Beamer. Some draft picks, which are like, we don't even know what they are. They like, the draft picks are like your antique cars. You know, you get a junker and maybe you got a 64 Impala SS, you know what I mean? Looking good on dubs. Got them 15s in the bag. You know what I mean? Or it just turns into a clunker because it just never works. So what would you rather have? Would you rather have a 3 Series Beamer, maybe a 5 Series on a good day, if he gets back to what he once was in Oladipo, and the opportunity to possibly get your ride pimped? You know what I mean? You got these cars. You don't really know what it is. It ain't looking good right now. But a little bit happens here, a little bit happens there. Kyrie, KD, and James Harden leave the Nets. Those draft picks get better, and then you done got your ride pimp. So now that shit fire. Maybe. It's just not what I want. But dang, bro, I've been talking way too much. It's almost an hour. So what I say here is Houston lost. If you were going to hold out, you should have got more. But I get that James put you in a situation where you had to make a move right then and there. You didn't have a choice. But I really wish you would have made that move earlier. If you would have got LeVert, who you could have still flipped for Oladipo and then got Dinwiddie. I just think the fact that you didn't get Dinwiddie or you didn't go get Ben Simmons is just a failure on you, man. I really believe that.